back to another episode of Code Vlogs. Well, of course we're still figuring things out, but I've got a few new little demos in here, and I've just been testing out my model cases, basically. So yeah, that's nothing new there, just a spinny static model. Okay, we'll talk about this. Okay, don't get scared. Halloween's over. We'll talk about it. And this guy now loops. When he goes too far, he's going to snap back. Okay, I got it set a little weird, but whatever. I just quickly did it. We also have this flashlight here. I've been playing around with Blender and also just making sure I know how to scale stuff. So got a little IMGUI integration here for just testing this out, really. Position, scale, rotation. You can make sure they all work as expected. And they seem to. So that's just another thing. But, okay. Let's talk about what's on the screen for now. First of all, let me get rid of this flashlight thing. It's in the way. Alright. Well, we got some weird snapping issues that I need to resolve with the camera when you move in and out of this inventory mode, but it doesn't really matter. It's just part of the example project. So this lady. I was testing out loading a bunch of models because, as you can see, there's some errors. Like, look at this guy's hair. He's got like his body texture for his hair, which is not, it's not supposed to be like that, obviously. So there's something a little wrong there. And this chick is another animated model, and she is actually moving her feet down there, I think. I don't know, something's really weird with her though. So I've got to sort out the model loader. I got to analyze things. Like, this static guy works fine. He's got a hair problem. Oh, that's really weird when you go inside his face. Oh, creepy. All right. This model doesn't seem to load fine. So I've got some things I need to walk through. So that's an animated prop. If I add her, it's just a normal prop. But I can do multiple animated models. So basically what I'm doing right now is I'm learning more about making my own models and testing out scenarios. Okay, so it's the animated model that's different. So if I load her up with my normal model loader, the static one without bones and stuff, she's fine. So I've got to go through what I'm doing in my animation stuff, because clearly I've got a few errors, and I bet if I load him up in my normal one too, he probably won't do anything too weird. So we can test that out. I'll just put it up here. Well, let's make a copy first. And I should probably change these snappings to something better, like his Z location. Let's make, oh, it should be -600. Be a starting point. And let's make this a little bigger. He'll just walk a little further, no big deal. And yeah, let's make a copy of this that's static. And I just want to see what he does in that case. Yeah, we'll put it in his starting position. So there's just going to be one that's statically there. Oh, that threw an error, so it didn't actually compile. We need a different name. Sure. Just anything to test it out real quick. Alright, so we can go have a look at what he looks like with lighting and stuff. And there he is. He's right there. Still some issues with the textures. Looks like his hair is probably a separate texture. I must not be loading it correctly or something. And there are just some, once you get a far enough distance, I don't know if this is an OpenGL or a texture thing, but you get this like flicker in the distance. You see that even in most modern renderers a little bit, so I don't know if that's something I can really fix. This level is scaled pretty largely, but yeah, his hair doesn't load there. She looks fine. She's probably even got different kind of textures on her. This guy looks fine. This guy does not. And there's a smaller version of him. I guess I didn't increase the size of him or anything. This guy's scaled up a little bit to fit better. But he doesn't have lighting on him, obviously. So we've got a little more work to do. And just getting this shader stuff straightened out. But we're still on a pretty good path. And Blender. Let's talk about Blender. So I am trying to make this little flashlight here and export the textures, and I'm still trying to figure out what I'm doing exactly. It's just like a, I don't know, just a quick thing I made just to play around with textures, because obviously you want like a different one on the lens, a different one for the button up here, and then I would want it just like a flat glossy black for the rest that's got a little metallic shine. And I was learning how to export textures Doesn't seem too hard, but it's rather involved. I might just make a tutorial on it eventually, but I've got a little more learning to do before I feel comfortable doing that. So I did export some of the textures, and I think if I just modify, let me find this here, the material file on it. Oh, that's something else. Here we go. Because I think what I got to do is like map KD, and I can make this automatic, of course. And then I need whatever I saved these textures as. I think I turned this black one into, oh, I gotta look. Here we go. Texture test 1. Texture test, or just test. What is it, a PNG? PNG, yeah, okay. Trying to get them both on the screen at once. And yeah, Blender should handle this. I'm not, well, I know what I need to do to make Blender handle it, but I'm not to that step. I'm still figuring out a few more things. But essentially, we bake the texture, and then we tell it to use that texture. So let's see if the flashlight looks better here. Flashlight, do you have textures? There it is. All right, I got to get this thing shrink. Let's scale it up a tiny bit. There we go. That actually looks half decent there. And yeah, textures seem to bake okay, but they're not perfect. I forgot to unwrap some of them, so some of them are like scaled smaller than they should be. But yeah, that's where we're at. We're making some waves. Definitely going to be working on this model loader a lot, but I was basically getting in a bunch of test cases and yeah, learning more about all these models and figuring out kind of exactly what I want to do. Ideally, in a perfect world, any good model or any properly exported model it'll handle, no matter what path it is, whether or what type it is, like FBX, OBJs. It should handle all of them, and it should basically, you know, not make it hard for the end user. Nobody wants to import their model into an engine and then just have it look all wacky and they have no idea why. But it looks like the way I currently have this, that's going to happen in some cases. So yeah, we got our next goal, and it's I think what I'm going to do is just put a bunch of different cases in here and see if I can get them to all work correctly. I guess it wouldn't be a bad idea to give a little pop-up and ask about what you want to import or what you want to do. There she is animated. So if I can get her also animating correctly and the textures fixed and then lighting on these animated models, we'll be in pretty good shape. That's basically where I'm at. And now that I know how to make my own little programmer art models and bake textures, I'm starting to feel a little more comfortable designing my own stuff. And yeah, we're looking pretty good. I'm not sure what else to say other than next steps after this model is all figured out. And well, we've got IMGUI figured out too, so that's nice. We're ready to go there. I think the next thing is going to be, oh boy, we got a lot. I don't even know if I want to get to the next thing, but once I finish everything that's broken here on the screen currently, I think it's time to move on to shadows and physics. So maybe version 7, the one after this one we've been working on forever, is going to be all about shadows and physics, because yeah, I definitely want to be able to get physics going on these models as they're animating. If I want to turn them into ragdolls or whatever, I need to figure out all that too. And there's also inverse kinematic stuff. I don't think I'm quite got my eye on that yet, but that won't be too far down the road either, I don't think. So yeah, we're really coming along here. All right, thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Matt out.